think to myself, what a wonderful world. What a wonderful world.
Hello everyone. So, have some fun, not so fun updates. Last week I did my echocardiogram and I had my EMG, which the EMG was terrible. For someone who doesn't like needles, they put electrodes on different muscle groups and then fire a needle in there to sort of test the electrical or the current connection between your brain and your muscle to see if you have any muscular diseases. Thankfully I didn't, just showing signs of wear and tear from the systemic sclerosis. It's Friday. We're supposed to be leaving in 3 days to Calgary for the scleroderma clinic. That has been canceled because my tests show that my lungs have gone into terrible shape. So we are looking at potentially having pulmonary hypertension, which is also causing stress on my right ventricle and my heart. So we are now leaving Kelowna and right now heading to St. Paul's Hospital in Vancouver to go to their, basically see their experts because they don't have the right equipment to properly test and diagnose my lung issues in Kelowna. So checking in today, don't know how long I'm going to be there, probably through my birthday. That'll be fun, and I'll let you know how things go. Well, we're back in the hospital, so day one, first few hours of being at St. Paul's in Vancouver. I have to have a number of tests done to figure out what's going on with my heart and my lungs. So I'm going to have to do a heart cath, which basically is basically they go in through my leg through a vein to measure the pressure inside my heart. Colonoscopy, high-res CT scan of my lungs and heart, bone marrow biopsy to make sure we don't have any underlying cancer. I might be at Vancouver General Hospital for, they said it could be a couple weeks just while they figure that out. So road start, have had one blood test, about to have another, had about 7 doctors in here poking and prodding, so it's been a long day. They did a high-res CT scan of my heart and lungs yesterday. We are waiting for a transfer to VGH for the pulmonary hypertension clinic. I'm trying to be quiet because there's 4 other people in the room right now. This has been really emotionally hard. So I have a phobia of needles. I mean, most people say they do, and I do, and I manage it considering I'm getting, poked multiple times a day just for checking up and such. So, but all of these tests and the unknown, and it's really scary because these symptoms are likely caused by the scleroderma, so it's not like someone who's in here dealing with just a heart problem. I'm dealing with a heart problem that's being caused by something else, potentially, and not knowing what is happening with that and how it's going to affect me long term, or if they're able to stop it because the scleroderma is taking over so fast. It's just like, it's really, really, really hard being in here with all these unknowns. So we're managing, and yesterday was a good day, and we are preparing for a harder day today, so I'll let you know.
So we just arrived at Vancouver General Hospital. And here is the view of downtown Vancouver and the North Shore Mountains from his beautiful hospital suite.
Things have been going very well since we've been in Vancouver General Hospital. So day one being here, it was an onslaught of every department that is going to be helping me out. Their teams, leaders checking me out, getting all of their ducks in a row to figure out what test to do next. yesterday was the full test day. Had my IV line put in, had a full body x-ray for the hematology team to investigate my bones. Oh yeah, had an echocardiogram. So that was checking out the heart, see how it's operating. Then today I got to start my day off with a delightful bone marrow biopsy, which comes out of the hip bone, which was a little stressful. They had me on Ativan and morphine this morning. But I will say, when they go to take out the liquid bone marrow, that's painful. That's not pleasant, but it's pretty short as long as they warn you about it. I actually had Julia hold my legs down because I kept flinching, and I ejected the needle for him, so he had to go back in again and do a second try. So that was good. And now I have a MRI of my heart today, so that'll be the rest of my day. Oh yeah, and they're probably gonna slip in here at some point and cut a chunk of my skin out for a skin biopsy. And then we're on to tomorrow. So it is now Thursday. It's also my birthday, and I'm still in the hospital, which is not where I was hoping to be, but hoping we can get all this figured out so we can move on to next steps. We had 3 tests booked, and one of them was a VQ scan, which is chemical in the lungs, dye in the blood, and then they put me through a radiology sort of machine and watch how the blood interacts with the oxygen and all the chemicals and all that fun stuff. We need an IV for that, and they're considering doing a PIC. After dealing with their IV specialist, you know, we were going back and forth whether we do the IV or the PIC, and finally the IV tech was like, it'll hurt, but I can get this thing in 30 seconds. Just the regular IV keeps me having to still do blood tests every day, but yeah, he got it in. It was painful. My skin has toughened so much that IVs, even 3 days later here, I'm still feeling the tension on my skin as liquid flows through. So now today I'm seeing the ophthalmologist to check out what's going on with my eye again. And then I'm currently on what they call flush, because I'm going to have a colonoscopy later this afternoon. So that was fun, running to the bathroom all night. But I guess you gotta do what you gotta do. So today is my birthday, and we're gonna have my very favorite local pizza and a cake, I guess. And so that'll be probably the only food I eat today. And looking forward to that. Spirits are, you know, as good as they can be for this situation, but we'll see how the results come in to see how I do. We're hoping that all this leads to that my issues are not serious and mostly related to the scleroderma, so we can move on to treating it as opposed to something else.
These are from Jason and Vierma and Luca from Disney Vacation Family. Thank you. And there's Ben.
Second finished all but one test, so the last big one was just done.
Yay! The only tests left to do are like eye doctor type tests. So he's got an angiogram. So all the big tests are done. Now we just have to wait for the doctors to confer and figure out if we can still do the bone marrow transplant for Ben, and I think that's where they're leaning.
We will see. It's a fun ride. I am finally being discharged from VGH Hospital in Vancouver. So we had a royal twist last night where all of the tests came back great. Had pulmonary hypertension, which is not great, but we had what they call as the Christmas case, so mild case plus reactive to medication, so that's good. The shot was that we couldn't get, or Calgary basically said that pulmonary hypertension is going to be a no-go point. Since then, everyone here, rheumatology department, the pulmonary hypertension department, are all contacting Dr. Leclerc in Calgary to ask for me to be considered, just because they feel this is the only and best place for me next, and that my pulmonary hypertension is mild enough that they would be comfortable with the procedure. Anyways, finally going home, or at least to my mom's place, follow-up appointment, and then in the next hopefully 24 hours we'll know the story about Calgary, so keep you posted. But it has been a long 3.5 weeks of tests and hospitals and unknowing, and it's just gonna go on to the next. But Drew has got me through it, and the hospital staff here at Vancouver General Hospital have been, I can't even explain how amazing they've been, and especially now that they're all going to bat for me to help my health. So thank you guys, and yeah, we'll talk soon. It was not a bad view from the bed while I was here, despite how crappy it's been. Almost looks like a picture. Oh, there she is. Hey, sweetie. Yeah. It was kind of okay.
Have you shown them the view from the bathroom?
Oh, you mean the view from my commode?
And
So this is the view while you sit and do your morning biz.
it says, "I love my sweet bear heart," because I call him my bear heart. So then there's a little picture of a bear holding a heart balloon. That's what Ben got to see every day. So he knew that I loved him.
Love you, sweetie. Thank you for everything.
Aww. I love my bear heart.
I love you.
Aww.
Couldn't
It's
have done it without
done.
her.
We're done. Well,
I don't
no.
even say that, but yeah, this
part,
leg.
This part is done. We can go home for a couple days.
I want to get out of this room.
Let's do it.
Get out.
Well,